South Africa took Israel to ICJ sometime last year. And since from then, there are things that are happening. When you look back, you know that it has to do with Israel. Israel is committed to use each and every single ally and power to make sure that it makes South Africa to suffer. A couple of days ago, South Africa passed the expropriation of land into law. And now Lesotho is saying that, please bring back our land. As you all know that Lesotho and South Africa has got a very long, painful history with regards to the land that was stolen during the colonial period. Dumela Kazi, welcome back to the cafe. If you are new here, welcome. And if you are returning, thank you so much for gracing us with your presence. Well, if you are new, please make sure you subscribe. Make sure you like this video. It helps a lot. And also, I'd like to hear from your side. Please do comment down below with your own views regarding this topic. Without wasting any more time, let's get into this video. So let's talk about things that have been happening recently that involves South Africa, Congo, Rwanda, Lesotho, and the main act, Israel. Maybe touching to the USA, whom they like to make sure that people know who they are, right? So this is what is happening. Some land that Lesotho owned was expropriated during colonial times. And this one is a whole video by its own to make you understand. This is a huge video by its own, but I will put a link if you want to watch someone who is here on YouTube that made a video that is very similar to what I'm talking about right now when it comes to land issues with Lesotho. And then you can go and watch that one. It's very interesting. It's a very interesting video. It's very informative. If you don't know the issues that comes with land issues between South Africa and Lesotho, then you would understand what I'm talking about, right? So now Lesotho is saying that, you know what, we need our land back. But the interesting part, this motion was voted out or was voted against in actual parliament of Lesotho. But there's only one member of parliament said that I am going to take this one in the higher places because obviously I want the land back. So this is an opposition party that is saying that we want our land back. The ruling party or the ruling members of parliament in Lesotho did not really vote with this guy. So this guy wants the land back, and he decided to go to the UN to lodge this complaint that they need to assist with the land. The interesting part, this guy is backed by Israel. Yes, this guy is backed by Israel. This guy is funded by Israel. You remember that I spoke about the ICJ? This is where the Israel gets in. And also, I spoke about the 14 militants that were killed in Congo, in the Republic of Congo, right? DRC. A couple of days ago, we learned that 14 have died, or 13 have died, and one died recently because of the injuries, obviously. So, yeah. That is the case. So Rwanda, which is involved in this whole thing, and it's believed to be Rwanda militants that actually fired at South African militants, is the same Rwanda that has links with Israel, and they are funded also by Israel. Because the actual weapons that they are using, they are from Israel as well as China. But I'm not going to include China in this whole thing because it doesn't really come up in this whole issue that is happening here. So Israel is trying to use these countries because obviously Israel will make sure they go to these countries that these countries have got issues with South Africa, and they will make sure that they fund these countries so that these countries have got capital to actually come for South Africa and attack South Africa. Not forgetting the USA, United States, under the new administration of Trump. the USA is cutting a lot of things for South Africa because the USA is an ally or is an Israel ally, right? They are like this with Israel. So obviously anything that Israel would do or say, it goes, because obviously the USA is buddies with Israel, right? So I'm gonna go get deeper into this whole thing about Tshepo the Polo from Lesotho, who is the member of parliament who took this whole thing to the UN. It says here, according to Lesotho's Tribune newspaper, Israel is funding a campaign by Lesotho's BCM party leader Tshepo the Polo to reclaim their stolen land. The region in question includes parts of KwaZulu-Natal, Free State, and the Eastern Cape. The MP has formally written to the United Nations requesting their intervention to help bring these lands back under Lesotho's control. This move is based on historical grievances and territorial disputes stemming from a colonial era. That is what it says here. As I said to you, this was raised in the Lesotho parliament and the motion was voted against, right? So the whole parliament voted against, and this guy, because obviously he has his own agenda and he's getting used by Israel, he will make sure that he will stop at nothing to get what he wants, and Israel will make sure to stop at nothing to get what they want, or the pain that they want to inflict into South Africa, because South Africa decided to take them to the ICJ. That is what is happening here. So Lesotho is actually trying to poke something that is going to be very messy if it goes further than it is right now. It is going to be a very painful thing that is happening. And unfortunately for me, on my side, the land that I'm occupying, where I am right now, it is under Lesotho. It is under Lesotho. If ever South Africa would say, okay, you know what, take your land back, we don't care, then that means I am in Lesotho at my hometown, where my hometown is. It's very close to Lesotho. We actually have a border to Lesotho. You can actually walk to Lesotho. If you don't want to go to the border, you can actually literally walk, because there's nothing bordering Lesotho and South Africa there except the river. Except the river and a small stream, on some parts, a small stream. You can just literally walk across. So this is going to be a very, very interesting one. And it's gaining momentum. As I said, it is gaining momentum. So now we've got Rwanda that is after us. We've got the US that is after us. We've got Lesotho that is after us. And who else is going to be used to actually say we want our land back? I foresee Rhodesia, rather Zimbabwe, saying that we want our land back. I foresee Swaziland saying that we want our land back. Why not Botswana saying that we want our land back as well? Should we say we want our land back from Namibia, or Namibia is going to say we want our land back to us? Because obviously you remember that Namibia was South Africa before, right? Was under the South African territory before, right? During the apartheid era. So, yeah, I don't even know what to say, because the attacks, they are about Israel. And these countries, such as Lesotho, they will be used by Israel. I don't know. What if South Africa says, we don't want to see your aircrafts over our airspace? Because obviously, if you want to go overseas or wherever from Lesotho, you need to fly over South Africa, right? If you want to go anywhere, you need to fly over South Africa. So this is messy. This is messy. If Lesotho doesn't do something about it, I don't know what's going to happen. I really don't know what's going to happen. I want to hear from you on your side. Do you think it is fair for us to keep Lesotho's land? Or is it fair for Lesotho to take the land back after it was maintained, it was built on, and a lot of things have been done to this land, and some of this land is a plantation and all of those things. Do you think it's fair for them to say, you know what, we want the land, expropriating the land without compensation? The same thing that actually Ramaphosa has done, expropriation of land. So we're tasting our own medicine. This is what we're going to be tasting. So for me, on my side, I would say maybe for a small part, it is fair for Lesotho to say, we want our land back. And I think a lot of people would ask, why now? Why now? Even for us on our side, as South Africa, why now? Why did Cyril Ramaphosa sign the expropriation of land now? Why didn't it happen long time ago, before people build on this land and do all sorts of things on this land? It's the same thing that will happen with Lesotho. If you say why now, Lesotho should ask as well. Shouldn't ask why now. You shouldn't ask Lesotho why now. If you don't want to be asked why now, why do you sign the expropriation bill into law in South Africa, whereas you don't want to give the same thing to Lesotho? Give the Lesotho the land back the same way that you want people who are occupying the land in South Africa to get the land, right? I don't know what I'm saying, but anyway, that's what I'm thinking. But in a very, please don't misquote me. In a very small little amount, I'm saying that South Africa should give Lesotho its own land, since we also say we want our land in South Africa. So it's a fair game, right? It is a fair game. But another part, I'm saying, please, guys, please don't do that to us. We are dealing with a lot. We are dealing with Paul Kagame from Rwanda. We are dealing with a war in Congo. We are dealing with Israel, and now you are used by the same Israel and the US and all of those things. Now we have to run around like headless chickens. Guys, please give us a chance. I mean, Lesotho people are here in South Africa. All of them, they are actually far from Lesotho. Some of them are here in Cape Town, illegally here in Cape Town, right? So what's the problem? Give us, what is the problem? And actually, my grandmother is from Lesotho. My grandmother, who birthed my father, is from Lesotho, my grandmother. But anyway, thank you so much for watching till this far. I'll see you on my next upload. Have a fantastic one. Peace.